Hello guys, welcome everyone to Mando Monday. This is a series where you guys ask me questions and I of course answer them. This could be to do with anything related to Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO investing, Source 2 possibly, or maybe something to do with Star Wars or something Lego. If you guys have a question for next week's video, make sure you leave it down in the comments section, ask Mando, and then of course ask your question. It's usually easiest for me to find that, but you can leave a question on any video specifically. It doesn't have to be this one exactly. And let me tell you, this week is a lot of questions, a lot of individual questions that are very, very different. Nothing different than any other week specifically. There's just really unique ones, I would say. And there's also some talking points I want to discuss before the questions. But before we do so and hop into today's commentary, here's a quick word from our video sponsor, Skinport. Now, today's video sponsor is, of course, Skinport. Skinport is currently the biggest, most secure buying and selling marketplace for Counter-Strike Global Offensive skins in North America and Europe. It's currently trusted by 10,000 people and some more who gave it a 4.9 to a 5-star rating on a place like Trustpilot. Buying skins is very easy and is great with discounts up to 30% and of course over 420,000 options to choose from. In those instances where you want to buy something, for an example, you're going to run into examples of something like this. The Bayonet Doppler currently listed on the Steam market for $507. Skinport is offering for $382 USD, of course. That's a 29% off discount compared to what it has on the Steam market. Checking out whether you're buying or selling skins is easy, fast, and secure. With selling, of course, it goes to your bank directly via bank transfer with no hidden fees whatsoever, which is very, very nice. If you guys are interested in selling some of your skins or picking up some new flashy ones, make sure to check them out in the top of the link in the description below. So this week, there's going to be a lot of new videos on the channel. Nothing different from CS, but there's a lot of stuff to cover. Of course, Source 2, with all the rumors that are happening, a lot of people are asking what's going to happen to skins. And I have a video coming on this as well. TDM Jesus has recently made a short on YouTube about this, and essentially they're going to be fine. I agree with the exact same thing. I want to turn that into a commentary. Hopefully that should be posted this week. But to go more into depth, kind of without spoiling the entire video, essentially more people are going to, of course, equal more skins. There's going to be a higher player count, higher player growth, because obviously there's going to be a new game, new engine, and a lot more content for people to see, do, and just play in the game overall. And of course, I want to talk about an operation, possibly a new case coming here very, very soon. There's going to be a case either way if there is or there isn't an operation. I also want to talk about the Rio Major stickers and how possibly they could reuse the Antwerp and Stockholm designs. And of course, the current skins and cases going up and down, of course, with M4 buffs, M4 nerfs, and many more. So stay tuned for that. And our first question here from Canmeister, he says, "Hi, I want to buy a top glove. Should I wait for the new operation or buy now? What do you think?" So right now, skins are really all over the place. It's really just going to come down to the wire for you personally, I think, depending on the glove, of course, you want to pick up. I have seen some gloves recently go up and down like crazy. So for an example, some of the sports gloves are really, really expensive right now. I think that's just for that category specifically. The Moto gloves are down a little bit, and that's actually why I bought a pair of Moto glove blood pressures a couple weeks ago, which I plan on trading up, maybe try and get a minimal wear edition. But for the next couple months, it's going to be really, really rocky. You're going to have to really pay attention to the market on the specific gloves you're really interested in. But on top of that, an operation, getting your hopes up for that isn't something I really recommend. Valve is really all over the place when it comes to operation and updates. Even with all these Source 2 rumors coming out and people saying, like Waral, for an example, that Source 2 is going to come out in August, I wouldn't hold back to be a factor in when you're going to buy these. You're either going to buy them or you're not going to buy them, especially if they're in for investment. I wouldn't do it till later on in the year, and maybe September, October rolls around. At the beginning of an operation, you usually see a huge crash in skins. That's when I would do it, but once again, there's no guarantee in that. So look around specifically, and if you don't want to do that, then I would just have to wait till an operation, I guess. Our next question up here from Sukamatic? I don't know. You think it's a good time to buy a Cloud9 Holo? And well, right now, the prices for Holos, once again, kind of like gloves and just everything on the market, is really all over the place. These are actually down quite a bit from what they were a little while ago, just a couple days. I think that's just because people are unboxing them a little faster than people are wanting to buy them, and of course apply them to weapon skins, which is pretty interesting. But really, they're eventually going to go back up in price, and after the 75% off sale, in theory, they would go up more, because obviously these capsules aren't going to be bought for 25 cents anymore. They're more going to be like 30, 35, possibly pushing that 40-cent mark and maybe a little higher. But of course, that may take some time because of the quantity in the Legends capsule. So technically right now, yes, it would be the best time to buy this, because waiting, you're really, really gambling. And on top of that, buying into these capsules, you guys are on a very limited amount of time left. I would say you're really in the red territory, the bad territory of trying to buy these after, I would say, the next couple days of viewing this video, because really this week, I think, would be the opportunity for them to remove these capsules. Our next question up here And this guy says, can you please suggest some capsules for me to buy? I have 30 euros for buying into them, 125. Can you please tell me? So right away, looking on the market, there's going to be some gambles and there's not going to be some gambles. There are some quick disclaimers before buying into these capsules that you should know about. The past couple majors have been very, very weird. I'm going to consider RMR a major, but it's also not a major. Everyone relates major investing nowadays to RMR, of course. That's because it was the worst investment, I would say, in all of CS history. It was a sale that ended up lasting almost 6 months, 5 to 6 months overall, and that caused these skins and these stickers specifically to just absolutely crash in price. You have the gold stickers, for an example, and they were really interesting at the beginning. They were very rare, but eventually these capsules were on sale, the 75% off sale specifically, which it wasn't a major. So if we ever get an event like this one day again, we'll know that it most likely will have a sale. The prices tanked. And then we had Stockholm, of course. Everyone was scared to kind of buy into them and just buy these capsules overall because of what happened with RMR. Now you have Antwerp for people trying to kind of make their missed out opportunity happen with Antwerp instead of Stockholm, kind of a Stockholm 2.0. And already looking at the market, these capsules are heavily overbought in my personal opinion, for some anyway. But obviously there's going to be some factors with that. For the Cloud9 sticker and the Legends capsule, for an example, there's almost 300,000 of them on the market, and from what we know of, there's a little more than that in people's inventories. And the theory and idea I have with this is, since it's harder to unbox something like Cloud9 Holo, it's very, very rare, people like it, people are going to go through more capsules to unbox them, of course, to get that sticker, and that's going to dwindle the quantity, meaning the price for that is going to go up. But where I see the best opportunity for most people is, of course, the autograph capsules. I think most people can agree with this, but I think a lot of people are starting to catch on to that. So as of viewing this video, I would really bring it down to the wire for you personally, in between some of the individual autograph capsules themselves, and maybe go it for something like a regular capsule that actually has team stickers in it, maybe that isn't the Legends, especially if you want to play it safe. Our next question up here from Flame, and he says, when is the Antwerp ending? Can someone please answer? So I have talked about this in the past previous updates that I've done on the channel for this, and really, like I said earlier in the video, you're coming down to the wire if you wanted to buy into this, but at the end of the day, we really have no clue or understanding of what's really happening. Last week, I can take this for an example, is in the fact that Valve released a test update for something we don't even know and didn't even talk about stickers. So maybe that's going past their head. Maybe the sticker sales for Antwerp are doing so well compared to Stockholm. The reason they pulled Stockholm, in my opinion, so early was because the sales weren't really doing that great and they wanted to push out a new case, the Dreams and Nightmares case, to take that place because they know people would buy more keys than people are buying capsules, and that equals more money for Valve, more content for us. But of course, with no new rumor or really anything to do with a case, we don't really know. Our next question up here from Jake, and he says, are you predicting the Rio stickers to be worse looking than Antwerp and Stockholm since it's ESL? This is a pretty interesting question, and it's a pretty heavily discussed question, and as well as some people really upvoted this question for it to be answered. That's kind of why I picked it. And well, at the end of the day, it just really comes down to Valve. In the Krakow 2017 major from PGL, for an example, the same people that hosted Stockholm, they actually wanted transparent stickers back in 2017, but Valve said no. So it's really interesting to see Valve's decision making with this, having 2 majors in a row with transparent backgrounds. You would hate to see another major with transparent backgrounds once again, but it is Valve and we don't really know their intentions overall. This would absolutely, in my opinion, kill sticker investing and also kill buying stickers in the game just in general, because at any point in time, it feels like if a team comes in that was in a very long time ago, let's just say, for an example, Dignitas, they were actually very close to qualifying for the major, what's stopping Valve from making their sticker look like the 2014 one 2.0 once again? But for me personally, I'm thinking they're going to have a circular background or something a little different, maybe like a DreamHack 2014 design where it's a very rectangular shape, and the holos, for an example, are really, really unique. They're very interesting. It's a different style and different source of sticker for some people. I myself was a DreamHack 2014 collector for a very long time in Counter-Strike. I actually like those a lot more than the Kato 2014 stickers. So at the end of the day, it's just coming down to Valve, but I really don't think they would reuse this design again. I think maybe this might be the last time we see a transparent sticker in CS for a long little while. Our next question up here, and this guy says, will Source 2 run better than Source 1, the current build of CSGO, for an example? This might be a stupid question. It's absolutely not. I have a video talking about this when Source 2 is coming, everything you didn't know, and especially the future of skins, and we will be covering this in that video more in depth. But from what I've heard, to go a little into this, is that the new build of CS, or when the rebrand comes for Counter-Strike in August of 2022, most likely, Valve is going to release Source 2, but it's going to be like the Panorama UI update. And for people who weren't around for that, you had the option to use the old UI and Panorama when it came out. And it actually lasted a very, very long time. For people who wanted to use the old UI before they fixed all of the bugs and all of the problems with it, people were able to use the old version. And for content creators and whatnot, they could use the new version to make it a little more interesting for most people. Also on top of that, Source 2 is supposed to run a lot better, but that is going to come with a lot of crashes, a lot of bugs, bugs, and overall just a lot of problems because it technically is a whole new engine to the game. You're going to have problems that you wouldn't have on certain parts of the map. There's also a lot of leaks right now that apparently the movement's going to be a little different, so that might appear a little different on Source 1, for an example, than Source 2. But in the long run, apparently Source 2 is supposed to run better for something like your processor in the long run, but this isn't really my area of expertise. I would personally ask someone like Gabefollower, but that's all we really know for right now, just kind of getting general information from the public. Our next question up here is from Porsche, and he says, ask, is the 9Z glitter or holo a better investment? And well, the glitter sticker right now, I think the quantity for them is absolutely insane. But for something like the 9Z, it's not too overly bought into right now, and of course opened up because people really aren't eyeballing this capsule a whole lot. The glitter stickers, how I see it right now, for something like the Cloud9 sticker, I'll give you this as an example before we really go more in depth to your question, which it's going to lead into. The Cloud9 Holo is obviously really beloved right now. It's obviously going up in price. It's getting applied pretty much as soon as they are bought on the market and whenever they are bought. And for that, with the price rising up so much, if the prices continue to rise up the way they are after this 75% off sale removal, people are not going to want to buy, like especially your average Joe paid $30 or $40 for a Cloud9 Holo from 2022. So what are people going to turn to? Not older majors, but this major specific, because the effects and just the sticker overall looks really good. They're going to go to the glitter sticker. And this is kind of where I see the 9Z sticker going if it turns to be really unique. But for right now, I just don't really see it being that great. Also considering glitters really aren't that popular as much as most people like to think they are, or maybe when they first came out, for an example. Our next question up here is of course from Flame, and he says, I bought the Rocks Holo for Antwerp. Is it going to be a good investment? So I was actually lucky enough to pick one of these up last week, and not pick up, actually unbox, and something I posted on social media, and it was really just insane. After 2 or 3 capsules, I unboxed this. And also a quick PSA, you should not open capsules. It's not good whatsoever. I've seen people open 400 or 500 of them and not get one single sticker back that actually covers their profits or anywhere close. But the rock sticker currently at 50 bucks. It's gone up and down like a little bit crazy. I feel like it has been overhyped and people have hyped it up quite a bit. I'm someone to hope it goes up. I'm keeping mine for right now. But since there is so many autographs, for an example, like Krakow 2017, that major specifically, it's really hard to tell before, the hype really goes into these stickers, right? What I mean by that, 2 or 3 years from now, this is when a lot of these investments are going to go up quite a bit, is because people are going to start finding stickers, for an example, that are really unique, or they just become really popular, a hype around them. We saw this with Krakow 2017 with all the gold stickers. This wasn't really a thing up until the past couple of years. I'm hoping for example, the Rocks is going to be really successful, but we won't really know until then. It is a really good looking sticker. It's also very unique, but we also have to remember there's so many more options people are going to want in the future as well, most likely. And not to sound biased in this situation, because I do hold one, I do think it's good. That's partially the reason I'm holding one right now. And if you are scared of maybe losing out on some future profit from that specifically, after the major concludes and the major sale's over and it's removed from CSGO completely, you're going to see a FOMO most likely on all these stickers, the fear of missing out. That's when I would buy and hop into this specifically, or at least sell what you bought it at recently, especially if it was under that 40, 50, $55 range. Our next question up here, and this guy says, will knife prices go down? And this is pretty interesting. It's kind of like gloves earlier on in the video, and gloves and knives right now are all over the place. It just really depends what knife and what glove you're looking for. A lot of the newer knives in CS are actually starting to go up quite a bit. The Ursus knife from the major, the Crimson Web for that knife specifically, has gone up a lot. Some of the flip knives have gone down quite a bit. Some of the bayonets and M9s have gone down. And I would say and suggest maybe you look more in depth into the specific knife you want, since these knives and these prices recently have been so weird. Look in depth of what that is. Take a 30-day period and look at the low, and maybe try and wait for that low, or for it to go a little lower during the Steam Summer Sale, or a couple weeks after the Antwerp sale, or possibly where I think a lot of people are going to want to pick up stuff and will be able to pick up stuff is during the 75% off sale removal. Everyone's eyes are going to be on, of course, the FOMO most likely of these capsules getting removed. That's why people are going to buy into this most likely, and that's going to cause the prices to go up. So when people do that, you're going to see knives and stuff for like a Karambit, M9 and whatnot go down. So that's when you're going to want to capitalize on that. Now, our next question up here is from Meaty Schmeedy, and he says, what are your thoughts on what happened to HFB? Do you think it could happen again and affect the skin market if it became a Steam-wide problem? So this is something I've covered in a video recently. The video did really well, so thank you guys on that. Essentially, for those who didn't watch that and don't know what happened to HFB is an Arab prince, I believe, and he owns about $4 million in CSGO skins, or at this point in time, he did. And well, he got hacked, most likely by the iCloud hack, but it actually got covered up by Valve. And Valve, for the first time, I would say in 6 or 7 years, has actually covered their tracks and done something about a scam in Counter-Strike. So what happened is apparently the hacker DM'd, or actually talked to Valve on Steam support, and what happened at that point, he said he couldn't remember his login and whatnot, all this other crap. Ended up getting the guy's login, started selling things for a quarter of the price, like iBuyPower, StatTrack, factory new red lines on this Russian website for $30,000 when realistically it should have been $100,000. Valve stepped in, and essentially people who bought these things on these websites, they deleted them from their inventory, which was just absolutely insane, or at least took them and just kind of gave them away back to Valve themselves. So the person who bought these on the actual website, they were kind of just left with no money whatsoever. So Buff came in, on all these Russian sites came in, these things were sold on, and they said, we're going to take the loss and give you your money back, which is really, really nice and all. But if this happened again, they're most likely not going to be able to do that. So I see your problem here and a lot of people's worries. But right off the bat, I'm going to say this was like a one in a lifetime chance and opportunity for this to really happen. I think Valve, since they actually did something about this, means they are hearing the community and the problems they have and problems people are seeing with Steam support. And I think they're going to fix that. Valve's always been big on fixing things like this, and I just don't see it happening again. And if it did become a Steam-wide problem, yeah, I would see third-party websites and whatnot probably shutting down. Or when you sign up for an example, there's going to be a huge terms and conditions, and in there, it's probably going to say, if this happens to you, for an example, it's not their job to keep your skin safe after they're sold, or something along the lines of that. So yeah, I think third-party websites would be in some deep trouble, but at the end of the day, I don't think anything's going to happen. Our next question up here, and this guy says, hey, man, can you please do a video on the Liquid Fire Holo spike? It is going up fast. Should I buy in? So I made a video about this the other day. A lot of people were surprised by operation prices because these stickers are really, really expensive, especially something like the Battle Scarred paper sticker. It was 16 cents. Now it's over $1.50. That buy-in is extremely cheap, and your chance to ROI and that room to ROI, that percentage is very, very high. And right now, no, I would absolutely not suggest going into something like this specifically. I would say wait until the next operation or new event that comes into the game, for an example, to buy a sticker like this. And if you watch that video, you're going to know that the paper stickers have a fatter and bigger ROI than anything else. Some of the holos, like the Liquid Fire Holo, I said at the beginning of the video in a quick PSA that most of that was FOMO. So that's something to look out for right there. That's it for Mando Monday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Link down in the description below. I also have to plug my Twitch channel. We're going to be streaming 3 to 5 times a week because apparently YouTube thinks I'm making fake passports to kind of fill the void of one, content, but also income here on the YouTube gaming channel. If you guys want to check it out, link down in the description below. Luke Eats CSGO on Twitch. Peace out, guys.